The White House used a Taylor Swift breakup song to brag about the president. And then the song disappeared from the video within a few hours. And then they did it again, with a different song. And it disappeared again. And then she went back and muted other songs from posts that were months old. And now the White House has done it again, a third time, with yet another Taylor Swift song. And that one is gone too. This is a pattern, a loop, a specific, recurring dynamic between the most powerful office in the United States and the most famous musician in the world. And it is being conducted entirely in silence on her end. No statement, no tweet, no press release from T-Pain, no paragraph posted to Tumblr. Just, the song is there, and then the song is not there. And the White House posts again, and the song is there again, and then the song is not there again. And the TikTok caption from the Team Trump account, before the first removal, read, "I'm sure Taylor Swift is going to be super excited we used her song." They knew. They posted it knowing she would object. They posted it as a provocation, as a challenge, as content designed to generate a reaction and, in the reaction, more content. The White House, the official communications operation of the executive branch of the United States government, is doing rage-bait TikToks with Taylor Swift songs. On purpose. This is where we are. And it is a bigger story than the headline version suggests. Let's go through it from the beginning. To understand why this is happening, you need to understand the history between Donald Trump and Taylor Swift. Because it is not a simple history. It is not one thing or two things. It is a series of incidents spanning years that have established a very specific and very public animosity, and then, weirdly, a brief period of apparent goodwill, and then a return to the animosity, and now this. Let's start at the beginning. Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris in September 2024, weeks before the presidential election. She did it on Instagram, in a post that signed off with the words, "Childless Cat Lady," a reference to the remarks J.D. Vance had made about Democratic women, which she was reclaiming with the specific humor of someone who owns 3 cats and knows exactly how to deploy that ownership. The post went viral immediately. It generated an enormous amount of attention and a documented, measurable surge in voter registration interest in the hours after it posted. Trump was not pleased. He had previously, and this is the part that set the whole dynamic, used an AI-generated image of Taylor Swift appearing to endorse him. Not real. Fabricated. A fake image, circulated on social media, showing Taylor Swift as though she were supporting Trump's candidacy. She called this out, specifically and publicly. And the fake endorsement became one of the most discussed incidents in the intersection of AI, celebrity, and electoral politics. And then she endorsed his opponent, which, after the fake AI endorsement, was its own kind of statement. Trump responded on Truth Social. He posted, "I hate Taylor Swift," in capital letters, with a specific emphasis of someone who needs you to understand that this is an important declaration rather than a passing feeling. And then, months later, after his second term began, "Has anyone noticed that, since I said, 'I hate Taylor Swift,' she's no longer hot?" He posted this in May 2025, attributing her apparent loss of hotness to his earlier hatred declaration, as though his opinion about her temperature was a governing force in the universe. He also used a controversy surrounding another actress to attack Taylor Swift in August 2025. He posted on Truth Social, "Just look at woke singer Taylor Swift. Ever since I alerted the world as to what she was by saying on Truth that I can't stand her, hate. She was booed out of the Super Bowl and became, no longer hot. The tide has seriously turned. Being woke is for losers. Being Republican is what you want to be." These are the words of a sitting president of the United States about a private citizen and musician who endorsed his opponent. Posted on his personal social media platform. Accompanied by claims about temperature and hotness and wokeness and Super Bowl booing. None of the factual claims in those posts were accurate. Taylor Swift was not booed at the Super Bowl. Her career did not suffer from her endorsement of Harris. She released The Life of a Showgirl in October 2025, 4 million equivalent album units in its first week, the biggest debut of her career. She got married in July 2026 at Madison Square Garden in what every account described as the most spectacular private event in recent memory. She was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in New York in June and the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame in the fall. Her career, by every objective measure, did not suffer from being hated by Donald Trump. The TikTok videos. November 3, 2025. The official White House TikTok account, not the campaign account, the official government account, posted a video. 22 seconds. Images of Trump, J.D. Vance, Melania Trump, Washington, D.C., the U.S. Army. Patriotic. Presidential. Government communication in TikTok format. The soundtrack, The Fate of Ophelia, by Taylor Swift. From the life of a showgirl. Her newest album. The album she released a month before. The album that opens with a song that went to #1 in 14 countries. The White House, whose president had publicly declared hatred for Taylor Swift, used Taylor Swift's brand new music to make a government promotional video. And they matched the lyrics to the images. Don't care where the hell you been, over Trump's 2023 mugshot. 'Cause now you're mine, over a photo of Trump kissing the American flag. The Fate of Ophelia, substituted with The Fate of America. They built a narrative out of her words without her permission and without any possibility that she would consent if asked. The video got 4 million views. 570,000 likes. When Variety asked the White House for comment, a White House official replied, "We made this video because we knew fake news media brands like Variety would breathlessly amplify them. Congrats, you got played." They admitted it. They admitted the whole thing was a trap. That the actual purpose of posting a Taylor Swift soundtracked government video was to generate press coverage about the provocation. That the media reporting on the use of her music was itself the goal. That the White House was farming attention by antagonizing a celebrity they knew had a devoted and vocal fanbase. They said, "You got played. Because you covered it. Because you told people." Because Taylor Swift's fans descended on the comments section and made the post impossible to ignore. They wanted the reaction. They designed for the reaction. The reaction was the product. The song was eventually removed from that video. And then the Team Trump TikTok account, the official campaign page, separate from the White House account, continued posting videos using Swift's music. Through the fall of 2025. Multiple songs. Multiple posts. Then, on August 8, 2026, the Team Trump account posted again. This time using August, the song from Folklore. The delicate, melancholy song about being someone's secret in the summertime. The song that Taylor wrote about the feeling of being in love with someone who doesn't fully choose you. A song about August and its ache and its fading heat and the specific kind of longing that comes from being on the periphery of someone's life. The Team Trump account used that song. And their caption acknowledged, with gleeful self-awareness, exactly what they were doing. "I'm sure Taylor Swift is going to be super excited we used her song." They knew. They knew she would object. They were counting on it. They were counting on the removal and the coverage of the removal and the cycle of attention that the removal generates. Taylor Swift removed August from the video. And then she went further. She went back through Team Trump's past posts, the fall 2025 posts that had been sitting there for months, and muted the songs featured in those as well. A retroactive sweep. Not just the most recent provocation but the history of provocations. She did all of this without a statement. Without a tweet. Without a word. Then, on August 13, 2026, today, the official White House account struck again. "I Bet You Think About Me." A vault track from Red, Taylor's version, released in November 2021. A song that is, specifically, about an ex who can't stop thinking about you. A song about the particular power of occupying someone's head rent-free after a relationship has ended. The track features Chris Stapleton and was among the most celebrated vault tracks Taylor released as part of her re-recording project. It is a song about confidence. About knowing that no matter how the relationship ended, you are the one they think about. The White House used this song. With a caption that twisted the knife, "We know you think about us. We know you think about us." A direct address. A taunt. Using the meaning of the song, the concept of being the person someone cannot stop thinking about, to claim that Taylor Swift, despite everything, thinks about Donald Trump. The caption is almost admirably brazen in its audacity. Because the song is about an ex who thinks about the narrator. And the White House is positioning Trump as the narrator. Claiming that Taylor is the one who cannot get Trump out of her head. Inverting the political dynamic, where Swift endorsed his opponent and he declared hatred for her, into a relationship dynamic where he is the one she cannot stop thinking about. The song was removed from the video within a few hours. It remains available as a sound on TikTok for other users to use. The removal was specific to the White House video. The mechanism works like this. Under copyright law, the rights holder, through their label and distributor, can submit a request to TikTok to remove or mute a specific use of a piece of music. TikTok complies. The song disappears from that specific video without disappearing from the platform generally. It is a targeted removal, a specific and deliberate exercise of the rights that Taylor Swift fought to establish over her catalog through her re-recording project. The Taylor's versions, including Red, Taylor's version, which is where I Bet You Think About Me lives, exist specifically so that she controls them. She owns those masters. She has the authority to remove them. She is using that authority. Let's talk about the playbook. Because Taylor Swift is not operating without precedent here. She is following a path that another artist established just weeks ago. An artist who dealt with the same situation, handled it the same way, and appears to have resolved it with the same method. Bad Bunny. The Puerto Rican reggaeton artist who is one of the most streamed musicians in the world, whose album releases consistently break records, whose cultural footprint is as significant in Latin music as Taylor's is in pop. The White House used his track, La Mudanza, in a video. A video that, by reporting, was particularly tone-deaf in its usage of the song. Bad Bunny did not issue a statement. He did not post about it. He did not do an interview. His team submitted a removal request and the song was muted on that video. A few days passed. And then, quietly, Trump-affiliated social media accounts stopped using Bad Bunny's music. One artist. One removal. No statement. No drama. Just, the song is gone, and the pattern is broken. Taylor Swift is following this exact playbook. No statement. No Instagram. No Tumblr post. No carefully worded quote to Rolling Stone. Just the technical exercise of intellectual property rights. The song is there. Then the song is not there. And then the next time a Trump account tries to use her music, that song is not there either. The message is communicated without a word being said. And the message is this: these songs are not available for your use. Not for political purposes. Not as the soundtrack to a government promotional video. Not as the background music for a campaign post whose caption explicitly acknowledges that she would not consent. Not for the White House. Not for Team Trump. Not today, not last fall, and not, going forward, ever. She is making that clear through action rather than statement. Because a statement would generate more coverage. More debate. More Taylor Swift versus Trump as a framed media narrative that both sides of the conflict could use to mobilize their audiences. A statement feeds the machine. A removal feeds nothing. It just closes the door. The White House's own admission, "You got played," was directed at the media that covered the fate of Ophelia video. The implication: by reporting on the provocation, media outlets were serving the White House's goal of generating attention. The coverage was the win. Taylor's silence denies them a specific kind of win. A statement from her would be enormously covered. It would be the story for days. It would generate precisely the kind of media engagement the White House was apparently engineering for. By not speaking, she removes one of the rewards for the provocation. She keeps the practical win: the song is removed, the video is silenced, while denying them the cultural win of a public fight with the world's most famous musician. This is, in its way, politically sophisticated behavior. Not from a politician. From an artist who has navigated public disputes for 20 years and understands something that many people who are older and more formally experienced in politics do not, that the most powerful response to provocation is sometimes the one that does not engage with the premise of the provocation. They want her angry. They want her reactive. They want a statement they can point to and say, "See, she's political, she's vocal, she's partisan." They want the fight. They have said so explicitly, "We made the video because we knew you would amplify it." She won't amplify it. She removes the song and moves on. The history of Trump and Taylor Swift is, in this way, a small-scale version of a larger political dynamic that has defined the last several years of American public life. The administration is very good at generating attention, at creating situations that demand response, at turning any reaction, agreement or opposition, into content that serves their larger narrative. The effective counter to that strategy, which many institutions and individuals have struggled to find, is to deny the reaction while taking the practical necessary action. Bad Bunny did it. Taylor Swift is doing it. The songs are gone from those videos. New videos will be posted. Those songs will be gone too. And at no point will Taylor Swift issue a press release about it. There is one more dimension to this story that deserves its full moment. Because the White House posting, "I bet you think about me," is not just political provocation. It is, in a strange and specific way, personally tone-deaf in ways that even the political dimension doesn't fully capture. "I Bet You Think About Me" is a breakup song. Specifically and precisely a breakup song. It is about the dynamic between someone who left a relationship and the person they left. The song's perspective is the person who was left, who is now thriving, who has moved on, who knows with full confidence that the person who ended things still thinks about them. It is a song of post-breakup power, of standing in your own life, fully, while the person who didn't choose you carries the weight of having not chosen you. I bet you think about me every time you hear a song about heartbreak / I bet you think about me every time that someone says, mistake / I bet you think about me every time you see a Christmas Time movie / I bet you think about me, I know you think about me. The White House used this song. And the caption said, "We know you think about us." Taylor Swift endorsed their opponent. She called them out for using AI-generated fake images of her. She has been, by every public measure, in opposition to the political project this administration represents. And they used her breakup song about moving on from someone who didn't choose you to claim that she can't stop thinking about them. The reading of the situation they are offering, with this song, with this caption, is that Taylor Swift is the person obsessing over the ex who left. That the White House is the one who moved on and is thriving. That despite everything, she thinks about them. The song says the exact opposite of that. The song is the one who moved on. The song is the one in power. The song is the one saying, "You think about me." Not, "I think about you." The White House, in choosing this specific song with this specific caption, has either misread the lyrics, which is possible, these things happen, or has performed the specific rhetorical move of taking a text and asserting a meaning that contradicts its content, betting that most people won't go back to the source material. Either way, the song is gone. The video is silent. And Taylor Swift is in a kitchen learning Italian, or at a Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame induction preparation event, or working out with her husband in the mornings, or doing whatever she is doing, and she is not posting about this. She is not commenting. She is not feeding the machine. The songs are her intellectual property. She removed them. That is the statement. It is the only statement that will be made. And the White House will post again. They will find another song. They will choose another TikTok provocation. They will write another caption acknowledging that she would not consent. And that song will be removed too. Until they stop. The way they stopped with Bad Bunny. Until the cost of the removal is higher than the value of the attention. Until the pattern stops generating what they need and becomes just a pattern of songs disappearing from videos. She has removed August. She has removed I Bet You Think About Me. She has gone back and muted the fall 2025 posts retroactively. She is being systematic about it. She is not angry, or at least she is not showing anger. She is just exercising a right. The right that owning her masters gives her. She earned that right by spending years re-recording 6 albums from scratch. She spent that time and that creative energy specifically so that she would own the master recordings of her catalog. Specifically so that if a situation arose where someone tried to use her music without her consent for purposes she objected to, she would have the standing to stop them. The White House used I Bet You Think About Me, a Taylor's version vault track. A song that exists because she did the work to take it back. And she removed it. That is the most poetic possible ending to this story. The song that the White House couldn't use is a song that exists because she refused to let her catalog be someone else's property. She took it back. And now she is taking it back again, one TikTok at a time, one removal at a time, one silence at a time. The machine is trying to get her attention. She is not giving it. The songs disappear. Life continues. Italian lessons. Sourdough. Training camp. Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame induction this fall. And the next TikTok they post will be silent too. Stay close. This story is not over. But neither is she. Now let me tell you something about the larger picture that this TikTok story sits inside. Because it is easy to report this as a celebrity versus politician story, as an entertainment feud with political overtones. And it is that. But it is also something else. It is a story about intellectual property, about what it means to own your work, and about what happens when the people who want to use your work for purposes you oppose do not have the legal right to do so. Most artists, most musicians, do not own the master recordings of their songs. They record albums for labels, the labels own the masters, and the artists receive royalties. The label has significant power over how the music is used, licensed, and distributed. If a label decides to license a song for a commercial, a film, a political campaign, the artist's consent is often not required. Taylor Swift's situation is different because she made it different. The re-recording project, the Taylor's versions, was specifically designed to address the situation where her original masters had been sold without her consent to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings in 2019. She couldn't control those originals. So she made new versions. And she owns those. When she exercises her right to remove "I Bet You Think About Me" from a White House TikTok, she is exercising a right that took years of work to establish. Years of studio time and creative energy and legal coordination and re-recording 6 complete albums. That is what gave her the standing to make one phone call, or whatever the 2026 equivalent of a phone call is between an artist and her distributor, and have the song disappear from a government video within a few hours. The White House could not have done this with the original recording. The original Red was owned by masters that she didn't control. But Red, Taylor's version, is hers. Specifically and completely hers. And "I Bet You Think About Me" is a vault track, which means it didn't even exist until she released it as part of the re-recording project. It exists because she created it, and because it is hers, and the White House cannot use it to soundtrack a presidential promotional video. The silence on her end is not just strategy. It is the expression of someone who holds the cards and knows it. She does not need to argue about this. She does not need to post about it or tweet about it or give a statement. The rights are clear. The mechanism exists. The song is gone. She owned her masters for exactly this reason. Maybe not this exact reason. Maybe she didn't specifically anticipate a White House TikTok situation when she began re-recording in 2020. But the general principle, that control over her work means she decides how it is used, and that if someone uses it in a way she objects to, she has the power to stop them. She is stopping them. One video at a time. Without a word. And somewhere in the White House communications team, someone is picking another song. And that song will be gone too. Until they stop. Stay with us.